If you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. The pleasure is to play. Makes no difference what you say. I don't share your greed. The only card I need is the ace of spades. The ace of spades. Playing for the high one, dancing with the devil, going with the flow. It's all a game to me. 7 or 11, snake eyes watching you. Double up or quit, double stake to split. It's the ace of spades. The ace of spades. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Unrelenting Alchemist, all spiritual all the time. We're talking today about disconnecting from toxicity, the idea of returning to a point of inner clarity. There's always this invisible web of noise that surrounds us. Every era has its own cacophony, but the digital age drenches us in a torrent of opinions, scandals, outrage, and idle spectacle, unprecedented in human history. Scrolling, streaming, doom surfing, we mistake stimulation for aliveness and conflict for connection. Yet sages across Taoism, Sufism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and many indigenous lifeways all whisper the same counsel: withdraw from what frays the spirit and return to what nourishes it. They teach that relentless fascination with toxicity, gossip, factionalism, fear-mongering, voyeuristic fail culture, perception, erodes compassion, and makes the mind oblivious to samsara's wheel. This is a time to dial things back. This is time to put spacious silence away from the noise. So let's talk about Taoism first. The Tao Te Ching opens that the spoken Tao is not the eternal Tao. Words, labels, and judgments are conveniences. You cling to them and you drift from the flowing source. And this is in chapter 48, which sketches the way of unlearning. In pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In pursuit of Tao, every day something is something dropped. Modern toxicity is the culture of compulsive adding. More hot takes, more sensationalism, more headlines, more frenetic multitasking. Lao Tzu prescribes Wu Wei, not passivity, not non-compulsive, but non-controlling action. And it's time to dial back by emptying these uncluttering schedules and these wasted inputs. Dawn drift is a good way to just sit at sunrise with no agenda, noting the river of thoughts that drift past without engagement like leaves on water. The 3 breaths rule says that before you reply to any inflammatory post on social media, breathe 3 times, feel the lower belly, and watch that anger evaporate. When we reclaim the uncarved block, the mind, before media carving, we act in spontaneous harmony rather than reactive tension. In Sufism, we polish the heart's mirror. While Taoism speaks of emptiness, Sufism speaks of heart shining. Jalad al-Din likens the soul to a mirror tarnished by dust, anger, envy, pride. Toxic culture throws grit and dirt all the time, but it's time for retreat, kawa, seclusion, meant for 40 days in silence, but even an afternoon mini kawa suffices. A door shut, a candle lit, embracing that stillness, chanting the divine name, polishing the inner mirror, and that deepens from tongue to heart. Grievances lose their stickiness. A favorite Sufi anecdote tells of a disciple asking a sheikh why he disapproved of constant debating in the marketplace. The master dipped a glass in a muddy stream. Wait, he said. Silt settled, water cleared. The truth is already within you, but only when the disturbance subsides. Toxic entertainment is perpetual stirring. Remembrance is settling down for peace. In Buddhism, we step off the wheel of reactive emotion. Buddhism frames toxicity as kleshas, afflictive mental states, greed, aversion, delusion. The 21st century information economy monetizes kleshas. Outrage produces clicks. Shantideva warns, whatever has arisen dependent on causes is impermanent. Tweets flare then vanish, but their karmic impressions linger. Mindfulness is the frontline tool. In Satipatthana meditation, we label phenomena: hearing, anger, craving. By naming without identification, we see toxicity as event, not essence. Complementary is the noble silence of Buddha's final rains retreat, where monks spoke only what was conducive to liberation. One can adopt a daily noble silence interval: breakfast without podcasts, commute without rants, evening walks phone free. Furthermore, the Eightfold Path's limbs of right speech and right livelihood have fresh resonance. Refrain from reposting rumors. Choose work that does not thrive on agitation. In Hinduism, we have sattva over rajas and tamas. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna analyzes mind and matter through three gunas. Sattva, which is clarity, harmony, illumination. Rajas, which is restlessness, feverish action. And tamas, which is inertia, darkness, and confusion. Most toxic media is rajasic or tamasic. Adrenaline spikes are listless numbing. Spiritual maturity entails cultivating sattva via diet, company, and mental impressions. Ancient commentaries advocate satsang, association with the wise. Today, that may mean curating feeds, moving towards uplifting scholarship, towards nature, towards photography, beautiful music, and unfollowing these drama peddlers. Rituals such as Agnihotra symbolize burning impurities. We might stage a digital Agnihotra by deleting these gossips, the not connecting to all the scandal. And this is where indigenous wisdom can also help out. Many indigenous traditions hold that story is medicine when tethered to place and community, but poison when severed is something that just continues to infect. And we want to frame our reality as kinship. We want to take our psyche away from the toxic narratives, away from the web of chaos, and towards listening to one's own heartbeat. You can't practice the dheere while doom scrolling. Indigenous ceremonies include fasts from food and speech, vision quests, sundance preparations. A contemporary adaptation is the tech fast, 24 to 72 hours without screens, spent hiking, gardening, drumming. One emerges tuned to better frequencies, the rustle of cottonwood leaves, the hush between one's heartbeats, realigning priorities away from manufactured drama towards ecological reciprocity. What about shared principles across traditions? Well, despite cultural particularities, we have five motifs that occur, right? We're going to look at Taoism, Sufism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and the indigenous paths. The first is silence, which is Wu Wei, Valley Spirit, Kawa, Noble Silence, Mauna, Dadiri. What about attention as a sacred asset? Guard the portals, polishing the mirror, mindfulness, sattvic diet of impressions, story as medicine, or periodic withdrawal, hermit sages, retreats, rainy season, vasa, vanaprastha, vision quest. Purification, emptying the cup, dikir fire, or love sitting with kleshas, lodging, smudging, or reentry with a service in terms of sage returns to the marketplace, be in the world, not of it, bodhisattva vow, karma yoga, and clan stewardship. The message is not to flee society forever, but to alternate immersion and retreat so that we can re-enter the world as medicine bearers rather than contagion carriers. Psychological mechanics of toxicity tells us that in modern neuroscience, these ancient intuitions were spot on. Toxic content hijacks our mesolimbic dopamine pathways, and they trigger these bursts of reward leading to compulsive checking. Chronic exposure elevates cortisol, shrinking hippocampal volume and impairing memory and mood regulation. We need intentional withdrawal to reset our dopaminergic pathways, right? Reading poetry, laughing aloud, contemplative practices, excuse me, enhancing metacognition, compassion, MRI studies. Meditators knew that their prefrontal cortexes, their emotional regulation, would be dependent on resetting and recharging. So you have to take practical steps. You need to audit your stream, right? List your top 10 information sources. For each ask, does this expand my wisdom? Does this provoke my kindness? Or does this stoke nothing but agitation? Rhythmic Sabbaths. Adopt a digital Sabbath, sunset Friday to sunset Saturday, echoing Jewish Shabbat and Sufi Juma breath. Sacred substitution. Replace 30 minutes of reality show binge with scripture or nature reading. Neurons still seek narrative or offer healthier stories. Embodied anchors. Yin yoga, Qigong, indigenous dance, countering disembodied screen trance. What about community of practice in a form of sangha, a zikr circle, a satsang, a council where members hold each other accountable for mindful media use, or ritual closure? End each day with the Sufi litany of let me breathe in peace and breathe out compassion. Clear out that psychic residue. You want to dial back It doesn't mean absolute disengagement forever, but disengaging from toxic feeds is not escapism. It's not privilege. It's a strategic form of retreat. The bodhisattva steps off the wheel to help others step off. The Taoist sage returns to govern wisely. The indigenous healer emerges from isolation to treat the sick. Dialing back creates a clarity necessary for effective, compassionate action, what the Bhagavad Gita calls nishkama karma, work without possessive frenzy. And so we want this guided meditation or this guided contemplation. Try the fourfold breath. Try this 5-minute practice combining elements from the traditions that are discussed. East is the air. Inhale slowly to a count of 4, visualizing fresh, clear wind of Dadiri entering the lungs. South is fire. Hold breath for 4 counts, feeling Sufi love fire burn reactive anger. West is water. Exhale for 4 counts, washing away tamasic lethargy like a Zen monk raking leaves of mind. North is earth. Pause empty for 4 counts, resting in Taoist Wu Wei, sturdy as a mountain. Repeat 7 cycles. Note the diminishing buzz of external chatter. In a case study in Point, there was a 100-day noise fast where a modern seeker, Maya, overwhelmed by political infighting and influencer drama, committed to 108 days without non-essential media. She journaled cravings the way a monk notes kleshas. By day 30, her dreams brightened. By day 60, she rediscovered an abandoned painting hobby. By day 108, she re-entered social media with a curated list. Client science articles, Sufi poetry pages, mutual aid groups, newfound equanimity. The takeaway echoed the Buddha's simile of the lute. Strings, neither slack nor tense, play music. In conclusion, we move towards a culture of lucid presence. Toxicity thrives on our scattered attention. Each click is a vote for the world we inhabit. Dialing back is therefore quiet activism. We can starve the algorithms of fear and feed the ecosystem of wisdom. Let the Taoist river carry away excess. Let the Sufi heart gleam. Let the Buddhist wheel slow. Let the Hindu gunas balance. Let the indigenous earth speak. From their chorus rises one teaching. Your awareness is sacred. Treat it as a ceremony, not as a currency. May we step back from the carnival of clamor, breathe, and remember who listens beneath the noise. Thank you for joining me in the sacred hour. This has been the Unrelenting Alchemist. I apologize that the content hasn't been quite daily as it usually is, but I'm still working on my book. So until next time, walk wisely, walk bravely, and when the dark calls, answer not with fear, but with fire and light. Take care.
And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you.